Alright, welcome aboard the Prevost H3-45 Commercial Coach. As you can see back here, you really can't really see anything but lights, but anyway, this is the front, this is the cockpit, the driver's area, kind of just an overview of that. And sit down here, we'll take a little closer look at it. If we come from the right side of the dashboard, we see the climate control. There at the bottom, the one on the left is the driver climate, the one on the right is the passenger climate. Up here is your radio video control system. Of course, that's your cup holder and what used to be an ashtray. Come over here, these buttons, green closes the door, red opens it. And here you have the cockpit lights. This is the passenger area lights, and these are the reading lights. Down here, this is the passenger area overhead fan control, and this is the chime. It makes noise. Coming over, we have the gauges here. The one at the top is the volt gauge, and this bus is running about 26 volts, 24 volt system. The next one there is the fuel. The one to the right is the auxiliary air tank. The two at the bottom are the front and rear air tanks. And then that's, of course, the speedometer. Shows this bus has 720,148 miles on it. It's probably more like 1,720,000. And then you have over here is the tachometer. Then over on this side, at the top is the oil pressure gauge. And then the turbo gauge is one you can barely see, and there to the left on the bottom is the engine temperature gauge, and that's the buttons that controls your information center, which is down there. You can't really see it. Here you have the overall dash. Kind of zoom out of that. The light that you see right there is the check engine light. You can see 64 degrees on the interior of the bus. It's about 55 outside now. And it tells you the park brake's on and the brake lights are functioning. And there it has the, you can see the turn indicators. Also has a switch, which is a test switch, which is right here. You push this switch and it lights up the entire dash for a few seconds and just shows you that all your idiot lights are working. You come over here and all these controls are for the top windshields. You have the defrost, wiper, and wash buttons. Of course, that's the hazard flashers. That's the headlight switch. That's the logbook. Everything's electronic now. And then you come down here, and these are the sunshades for the driver and passenger side. This is the front kneeling feature on the bus. It lowers the front so it's easier to step into. This is the mirror heater, and that was the test button that I just showed you. This little rabbit button, that's the high idle on the engine. This switch here is the engine brake, otherwise known as a Jake brake. What you see, this button here is an override, and if the engine shuts down for too low oil pressure, too high temperature, whatever, then you can actually push that, crank it back up, and move it out of the way. Down here, this is the overall power button. This is the ignition switch. There's no key to it Prevost. And here is your transmission controls. This is standard Allison transmission. Moving on down the side, this is the cruise control for the bus, and it's got just your standard switches there. This switch over here is for the driver's window, the control window. This is the mirror control, right and left. Some phone charger out of the way here. This is the lift tag axle, rear axle on the bus, if you ever wanted to do that, which I've had to do on occasion. This is the parking brake. This is the engine block timer. You can actually set that thing to work. It'll actually come on and heat the engine block prior to you leave the bus. And then down here is the low buoy. And what that does is that's a switch where you can actually lift the bus up and lower it down. Sometimes it can be useful if you get under too low a bridge, because if you go up here and look at this area right there, that tells you how tall the bus is. This particular bus is 12 foot 4 inches from the ground all the way up to the top. It's kind of hard to see because my phone's not really focusing very well. And of course, this is the steering wheel for the Prevost. And over here, your controls for your windshield wipers and stuff's on a stick there to the side. And that's pretty much the tour of the interior cockpit area of the Prevost H3-45.